hung up there for a minute, but I think I'm sorted. Still clearing the workspace from finishing the Jurassic Park set. So it'll just be my backdrop because why not? So, oops, welcome to those of you that are listening in the background, and as more join in the chat, happy Wednesday. And let's continue to finish up this wall piece here. I was really impressed by the build here and thought I had built this tower correctly, and it was working on, this is the Helm's Deep set from Lord of the Rings. This is a 2012 set originally. This is the alt brick version, the knockoff version of this set, but it's looking really good. I love the kind of the classic Lego castle style of everything here. But then yeah, the drawbridge and Legolas there, one of the minifigures, and just the overall design, you know, it uses some old classic style castle building, but then yeah, the tower itself looks really good. And so we got the rounded tower piece here, and some of the stone masonry kind of look down here in the bottom of the fortress being built up there. So Helm's Deep, whoops, don't want to lose Legolas. This guy shouldn't be flying off the side here. He's like perfectly balanced at all moments, according to the character here. All right, there he's recovered. So I'll put him back on here and say hello to you guys. Glad people are here. I was wondering, like, I saw some view numbers, but I couldn't tell who they were, and now we get to see some folks. Alexandria, my super moderator, is here. So cool. We got Tanner. Hey Tanner, welcome back. What's up, says Tanner. All right, so building up this, and so I'm building a mirror image. So this is one side, and then I'm gonna do another curved tower wall on the other side. Looks really good. So this is the alt brick version. Getting these old Lord of the Rings sets is, whoa, T-Rex, come on now. Getting one of these old Lord of the Rings sets is, you know, a small fortune. So I opted for the alt brick version. So if you like Lego, if you like talking Lego, like and subscribe. Here's the Brick Therapy logo. I forgot to show it last time, but here he is. This is our Brick Therapy logo. So welcome everyone, and good to see you. Tanner says, sorry I've been away so long. I have been busy. Understandable, Tanner. No problem whatsoever. As life takes different modes, patterns, routines, it makes sense. And of course, the older you get, the busier you get as well. So understandable, Tanner. No worries, my friend. Glad you're here today. And let's see here. I got to build up wall number 2, curved wall number 2. And I think I almost lost confidence in this set. Well, just a little bit of confidence, just because it had been so good. For an alt brick set, you know, you're never sure what you get. Like the numbered bags are, you know, you can tell they're not the quality exactly of Lego, but it's an alt brick set, and you get a 80 to 90% discount, so you can't complain there. So that's what's going on here, and it's turning out to be really good. And then you know, the minifigures, love the minifigures. Now this is not going to be a Lego collector piece because it's not Lego, but the build is the same, and the experience of the build, I think, holds up. You know, I don't have the original, but compared to the Lord of the Rings sets we have built up for this channel, like Rivendell and Barad-dûr and the Shire, this is definitely meeting those expectations as far as the build experience goes. I guess I could get my son's point of view, because over the summer when we did the live streams building up Rivendell and Barad-dûr and those sets, he did like the main parts of the build, and so I'm sure his point of view would probably be even more valuable than mine. But for my point of view, just being a, you know, older Lego collector, enjoying the experience of just building and not, you know, rushing through things. Not that he did, but you know, I just can't build as fast as he does. Then, you know, this is not bad. Now I will say, oh, here it is. I will say, these are not Lego pieces, and then, you can tell there's no Lego logo on the stud the rounded stud pieces. But as far as the quality of the actual bricks, just the feel of them, you know, some of these alt brick sets, sometimes you can tell the piece is just, it's a cheaper form of plastic. But these feel, you know, pretty decent, pretty close to the original. So that's kind of fun. Alexander says, that's okay, Tanner. Yeah, exactly. Life gets busy. I posted something on the community page. All right, Tanner. We will check that out in a little bit, man. Sounds cool. Did you do another build? Or I guess you're going to keep us guessing. So that's fine. And, you know, I was thinking, so I'm going through my mind of, we finished the Jurassic Park set. This live streaming turns out to be quite productive. I mean, since I live stream almost every day, I get to the point where I am building up a lot of our backlog collection here that's in the foreground. And then some of these sets here behind have been built up for a while. So that was already there. But getting to the point where it's like, you know, the dilemma, one of the best dilemmas ever, you know, what to build next. And I have some kind of random Lego sets that are here to kind of look at. And, you know, I got some fun, let's see here. My daughter gave me this for Christmas, just I would have never gotten this set myself. But, you know, how can you not love a good upscale build of Hey, you know, from Moana? So that's a fun, the color of the Lego bricks is pretty sweet. I think maybe, Alexander, you said you might have this build, but you know, if you like silly upscale builds like that, and 566 pieces, those are a pretty decent build here for this upscale big build of Hey, I guess he's kind of like a tropical, you know, maybe a chicken or a rooster. And then there was this other build my son gave my wife and I, and you know, the build looks amazing. Now, it's a friend set, which is kind of fun, but the house, that house is so cool. You're talking like an old, nice looking kind of Victorian looking architecture build right there. And you know, I won't knock friend sets. The builds are amazing. The mini dolls are not everyone's favorite, and I get that. But yeah, the build though, so this would be a 1,311 piece set. So got some Christmas builds here, or Christmas gift builds here that our kids gave us, and those are fun ones. You know, I never have thought to even look for those, and I love the fact that they found those and they wanted to give us something fun like that. And it's, you know, it's part of the brick therapy situation, the brick therapy culture. Brickstorm, welcome. Oh no, Brickstorm, going through some challenges and troubles, he says. Tanner says, so I know it's not Minecraft, but I'm making the Porta Corsa racetrack from Cars 2. Very cool, Tanner. I didn't even know. Oh, that's the second movie. I don't remember that movie very well. Just know the characters. Hey, Angel. Cool Legos, bro. Thanks, Angel. Yeah, we obviously like Lego at this channel. As you can tell behind me, we got lion's share of our collection here. So if you like Lego and you like building Lego, you like talking Lego, welcome to the chat on this Wednesday night. And here is our logo. Here's our Brick Therapy guy. Built up when we made this channel. You'll see this as our channel symbol as well. And then, you know, some sig figs to represent my son, my younger son, and I. Actually, our whole family has a sig fig, so I should put that out one day. And then just finished yesterday or last night the Jurassic Park set, and of course some cool things like a T-Rex were part of this build. And this, you know, very menacing looking there with that face. Look at that, even the eyes, the piercing eyes there, the hunter predator eyes there. So yeah, fun build there. And then during one of the Night Owls live streams, they live stream even later than this one weekend night, I thought, you know what, let's build. I wanted to get this thing going. It had been waiting there, this Helm's Deep alt brick set. So a lot to share on the channel. So yeah, Angel, I agree. Lots of cool Legos. Thank you for saying that. Welcome to the channel. Alexandria, thank you for greeting everyone. Alexandria says, I built it. Unfortunately, it got destroyed by accident. Oh no, you talking about Hey? Hey got destroyed. Well, you know, he was prone to accidents. His character was very not risk averse, very klutzy from what I remember. Little Bricks, welcome. Hello, Little Bricks. Good to see you back here. Brickstorm says, so Brickstorm is getting heckled. That's not fun, Brickstorm. Well, glad you're here nonetheless. Little Brick Therapy hopefully will clear the mind. And welcome back. Little L Bricks is here. Oh my goodness, good to see you guys. So many cool people in the live stream again. Actually, Little L Bricks making the bold move. He's put it out there live, so he's got to do it. Quitting smoking. Kudos to you, Little L Bricks. Kudos to you. Yeah, we'll pray that that becomes successful, because obviously the hard steps are getting past that addiction. So good job. Alexandria says, yes, that's not easy, but you can do it. Little Brick says, we also got all of our furniture in our apartment about an hour ago. Dude, you are busy. And that's super late. So, wow. Hey, John Powell. Welcome back. John Powell, another great moderator, have on the channel. Good to see all of you guys here. Little old Brick says, I got a lot of lollipops. That will help, right? That'll help stem the tide, hopefully. Yeah, so, you know, whatever helps in a healthy way, Little Bricks. Maybe not your dental bill, but, you know, I'd rather deal with that than what something else can be caused by all that smoking. So, all right, man, you're giving it a go. You made it public, so now it's kind of like putting the accountability on yourself, right? Because you gotta stick with that. So, good to see all you guys here, though. Welcome to the Wednesday live stream. Continuing to build this. Now, this is where it's all brick Lego. It's like I can't. These pins don't go in very easily. The molding. There you go. Ooh, that's a serious snap. This probably is never gonna come out of that Lego brick ever again. That was like some serious force in there. So building up this all brick set though, and building up the second side of this wall here. So actually it'll go on this side, and seeing how the build goes. Some of this I'll probably just build offline and do like a video review like I did of the Orthon Tower. So if you haven't checked out our channel, we do have some just regular videos too. I haven't done one in a few weeks, but check out the Orthon Tower review that I did, and another alt brick set. Taking a look at these Lord of the Rings sets from the alt brick perspective and how they compare in terms of build quality and brick quality, and how they look next to, you know, like the real Lego sets, like Orthon Tower put next to the Barad set, and just reminded me of how valuable that, if that you had that Lego set, you know, these Lord of the Rings sets are over 10 years old, like probably closer to 15 years old now. The first series of Lord of the Rings sets. So it's interesting, Lego's bringing them back on a super scale way, like the $500 range, and now I guess, according to what some of you guys have said, the Minas Tirith set's going to be more in the $600 range. So kind of the equivalent of the Titanic piece, or set, I mean, the Titanic's price. So my goodness. Oh, there we go. I was trying to find the old school slow pieces. Again, old castle brick sets pieces being used in this set. It's pretty cool. So, little bricks with the lollipop collection, going cold turkey. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, my live even says it too. So you put yourself on the spot. You're holding yourself accountable, though. That's good. Your audience will hopefully keep you accountable, little bricks. Well, of course, you got to be in control of that. So very good there. John Powell says, Brickstorm, simple solution. Block the number. Yeah, Brickstorm, exactly. John Powell says that you got to do that. I think, you know, if it's an iPhone, or actually probably on any phone, you can report it as spam and then block the number. That's probably the easiest thing to do instead of going through all the trouble of the other. Alexandria, given the emoji for the broken hey. So I might have to build this up just in honor of you Alexander. You might have to build up the hey set, you know, this upscale 43272, just something out of the ordinary. See how people respond, you know, when they see me live streaming, like, oh, what are you building there? Is it a Ninjago set? Is it Star Wars? You know, because all the colored bricks, it'll be quite a mystery if I don't tell you what the set is. Although you guys right now will know what it is, but that'll be kind of fun too. Alexander says that's cutting ties, all right, to little bricks for sure. For sure, you're a loyal customer now. You gotta, you know, for health reasons, you gotta cut some ties. Makes sense. Makes sense. All right, so this was the second tower piece was quite involved. So now, as I look through this, you can kind of see all the pieces on the table here. So all this goes into the second tower piece, and I should look up. I think I did yesterday. So this is the Helm's Deep set. And in terms of, let's see, in terms of piece count, all that good stuff, what was it? It was set 9474, Lord of the Rings Battle of Helm's Deep, set for ages 10 to 14, released 2012. So this is a 2012 set, 1,368 pieces. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minifigures. And, you know, well, I guess it depends. You get a pretty cool looking Gimli. You get the Uruk-hai with those pretty sweet looking helmets and armor. And then of course my favorite being King Theoden here with his helmet and that design, the Rohirrim helmet and shield. Very cool. And I think the only thing that's in this all brick set here is that the headpiece of Theoden, it's probably belongs more to Aragorn. There was only one guy with a bearded face in these headpieces, and it should have been two guys. I think Aragorn's supposed to have a bearded face too, but he just kind of has a regular, I don't know, somewhat of a stressed out Lego face there. He's clean cut though, so I don't remember. Maybe he was clean cut in the Two Towers movie. I feel like he had a beard though. So yeah, that's the only thing. Again, you know, for 80 to 90% discount price on a set like this, all brick set, albeit, I'm not complaining. Just stating some facts here and enjoying the build and sharing it with you guys too in the chat here. So Alexander says it's a colorful build, the hey build. Yes, it is. It is exactly. I think the pieces will be great. And you know how I will have to just leave it on display because it's a fun gift from my daughter. And then I can put it way over on the shelf. You can't see it, but I have the upscale Santa build that I did back in December. I'll have a Lego collection of some upscale Lego figures. I have actually, I believe they did 2 upscale figures from Harry Potter a few years back, which are now retired. I think it was, of course, Harry Potter and Hermione. Maybe they've done some before that, but yeah, I'll have to put those all together on the shelf. Tavaya, welcome. Let's see, we've got Tavaya here. We've got Drop Bear Bricks. I thought I saw your name pop up. G'day. I love the entry, Drop Bear Bricks. Welcome. Have you built up the confidence, the courage, Drop Bear Bricks, to pick a time and date to do a live stream yet? Or are you still kind of planning that through or thinking that through? Of course, the challenge is balancing doing something like that with family life. So I know there's some time constraints, time, a very valuable resource, you know, it's very finite. And what in the world? Green slow pieces just disappeared on me. But yeah, Drop Bear Bricks, give us some updates on that if you want to. I know you were thinking of doing a live stream, so that's fun. And John Powell has started his channel as well, slowly but surely, just showing off some of his amazing collection there. Even after not downsizing, but like taking down, disassembling, taking apart several sets. So lots lots to talk about in terms of Lego collecting if you want. Now I want to look up, as I kind of build through here, I want to look up and check the Lego website for any updates. I hear there's another gift with purchase coming out. That might be somewhat tempting for some people. And to me, it looks like a fun build. I think it's a mini sushi stand, sushi bar restaurant type stand. So maybe, I guess, trying to guess what that would be in relation to. Maybe kind of in relation to, although it's not Chinese culture, but maybe in relation to the Lunar New Year sets that have been coming out. So it looks like a fun build. It actually reminds me of a Lumi Bricks type of set that, you know, you would find. So that'll be interesting. And I don't know what the price threshold for that is. I'm sure since it's got minifigures, or will have minifigures, and it, yeah, it looks like, I don't know, probably about a 300 piece build or so, maybe a little bit more than that. That's going to be a pretty good size price threshold. I'm guessing around the $150 range. So depending on what you think you need for adding to your Lego collection in the near future, that might be something to just see if you already had something planned. Otherwise, I wouldn't necessarily get a big Lego set just to get the gift with purchase. You know, they say if that's the case, just buy. People will sell the gift with purchases on their own at some point. Okay, wait a minute here. Let's see. I was like thinking I had skipped another step here. I'm like counting out the pieces here on this plate. So there we go. Just slowly getting up to the second tower, rounded tower part, and building up kind of like a Harry Potter set, like a Hogwarts castle type set, you know, the stone base that goes into the build. So overall though, this is looking pretty good. Thank you guys for the 12 likes so far. And if you like Lego, you like talking Lego, thanks for joining in on the chat and the live stream. The only thing is, I'm just noticing now, you only connect this rounded tower part to two base pins down here at the bottom. So it is kind of loose. And I don't know if you picked up this whole thing when you have the other tower on this side, if it's going to be kind of awkward to pick up. The Orthon tower is so like gravity centric in the middle, and it's just like one singular tower. That thing was solid to pick up, and it does separate at the halfway point, so that one was easy to pick up. So yeah, check out our review of the Orthon tower as I talk about some of the aspects of this alt-brick Lego build. Let's see here. Alexandria says, yeah, I saw that it's minifigure size. Little Brick says, I'm leaving this running. Also have my live at 6 p.m. Pacific time. All right, sounds good, Little Bricks. Sounds good. Be right back. Sounds good. Alexander says, I'm sure you'll be fine, Little Bricks. There you go. Just need some encouragement. Tanner says, sorry I had to go for a bit. No worries, Tanner. We'll be building here for a little bit. We will be building here for a bit. All right, Drop Bear Bricks. What do we got? Still thinking it through as far as live streaming goes. I think I'll have to do it during the day when the kids are at school / daycare, but I don't know what time you guys would be able to join in. So let's see, Drop Bear Bricks, what time is it in your area right now? So if you're in Australia, are you guys like, well, I guess it depends on where in the US. Let's see, so oh, you did say, okay, so currently it's 4:10 p.m. here, the 26th. And where you are, yeah, where I am exactly, Drop Bear Bricks, it is a little after 10 p.m. here, and it's still Wednesday. So you are, you know what, 1600 over there. What's that, 1600? Okay, so you're, oh my gosh, can't do the math right now. Is that right? You're 16 hours ahead? Or is it 18 hours ahead? I think 18 hours ahead, if I do my math. So that's, if you live stream just a couple hours earlier, would your kids still be in school, or do you pick them up around that time? So let's say you live stream at like 2 p.m. your time. That would be roughly 8 p.m. here, or no, it would be 8 p.m. here. That would be a good time. you would get people on the West Coast pretty easily. You'd still be late on the East Coast. So some of us here in the chat are on the East Coast. So it'd be more like 11 p.m. or so. But I say just go for it, because whatever time zone you're in, people are on the chat or on YouTube shorts at all hours, and they'll come across it. And you always find Lego fans, like we found you guys, and vice versa. So yeah, it just depends. But I think you can't go wrong with the afternoon time. Go with what works for your schedule. That'll be good. I think you can't go wrong. So yeah. Alexander says, that's great to little bricks. Drop Bear Bricks says, so if I did live anywhere between 12 and 2 p.m., it would be between 6 and 8 p.m. Yeah, there you go. That would work. That would be great. 18 hours ahead of California or West Coast time. So 1600, yeah, is 8. Okay, got you. So yeah, I think the afternoon time, let's see, what did you say? Yeah, between noon and 2 p.m. your time, Drop Bear Bricks would be a pretty good time to live stream, because you're coming from Australia, I think you said. And you'll for sure get a lot of folks no matter what time. Honestly, you could catch people probably at any time of day, because there's people around the world who find the live stream. That's the cool part about this international connection on the YouTube platform. But yeah, if that's the case, then I would go with what hours of the day are best for you. I like to live stream at night because it's the end of my day, and I'm able to spend obviously the daytime at work, and then time with family, and then I can live stream and do this part, and then just engage in conversation with you guys. It's so much brick therapy, it's just so much brick therapy. You're building, you're talking Lego. Obviously I get to talk with you guys, and then keep the community going, and then sometimes catch a few other folks before I live stream, which is always fun. And then some of those guys transfer over to mine, and keep the cycle going. I haven't been able to jump on people's live streams this week. It's been fairly busy, but I'm still able to live stream myself. And then hopefully I'll get back to finding the Lego community out there doing their thing. And I still need to work out a live stream time with Brick Together, do a collab with them. So that's fun. And you know what, Drop Bear Bricks, if you know Mayo, he live streamed. He's in your side of the world, and I was able to jump on a collab live stream with him. It was more like a community live stream, I should say. And I think, well, I guess it was convenient because he was doing, I think, a 24-hour one. But that was fun, because then when I got on his live stream, he was in Australia. We had Brit and Bricks, obviously, in England. I think another person in Canada, probably on the East Coast. So we were just covering the whole English-speaking world almost. It was pretty sweet. So Drop Bear Brick says, yeah, we're 18 hours ahead of you. I'm working on my Porta Corsa track, says Tanner. Very cool. Hey, Landon. Psh, Landon's room is back. If I live stream when the kids are in bed, so say 7 p.m., then it'd be 1 a.m. there for you, so that might not work so well on, not so well on my end. I think 12 noon would work better for me. Yeah, that's a win-win then. Do it that way. Just give it a try. You know what? Plus, you'll connect with people in your own time zone too. And of course, that's always huge. So, you'll have people in your hemisphere. It's like so funny. It's like thinking globally. You'll have people in your hemisphere, and that'll be kind of the core of your community. And then, yeah, as you kind of live stream more and more, you'll probably just get people from everywhere, which will be cool. Roaming Bricks would be pretty close to your time zone too. Roaming Bricks, he's in South Asia or in India, so his time zone's probably pretty close to what your time zone is. And like, who's not gonna, out of curiosity, see what a channel called Drop Bear Bricks is up to? So that'll be fun. So that'll be perfect. I like that. Landrum said, this is my 18th day back, says Landon's Room. 18th day back, says Landon. Very cool. All right, I am enjoying this Helm's Deep alt brick set. But if you were wondering, this is also right here. Whoops. This is also, I don't know if you can see everything because they got the chat dialogue on my screen, but you got the minifigs here, and this is the Helm's Deep 2012 set number 9474. I love it. I'm building a set that's only a 4-digit item number. 1,368 pieces from the Two Towers movie itself, and then from the Lord of the Rings series, the early 2010s movies that came out. And you know, I guess during that time was when the Hobbit movies came out. So the Hobbit trilogy came out then in the 2011, 2012, 2013 set of years, I want to say. And so that was great, I guess, because, well, it was cool because then Lego obviously got the licensing for Lord of the Rings. I don't know if they got it indefinitely, and so they were able to come back to it, you know, in this decade. So since what, 2023, they've been doing all these sets now, or not these sets, the Bardor, the Rivendell, the new Shire set, and what will soon be, I'm assuming, if the news is right and what I think others have said, a Minas Tirith set in June. So this coming summer, we'll have a Minas Tirith set to consider, and I'm all too curious as to whether what the gift with purchase will be released with that set, and what you know, what will tempt Lego collectors or Lord of the Rings fans in general to spend, especially people who don't really buy Lego, to want to buy a Minas Tirith set, because I'm sure it's going to look, well, some of the leaked pictures look pretty good. So what will the actual set look like when it's built up and everything and on display at the Lego store, and a gift with purchase to tempt consumers to get it. Landon's Room says, where's Tommy Bricks? Don't know, Landon's Room. He's maybe just not able to join today. Drop Air Bricks, sorry, we just lost power briefly, so I'm on my phone while everything boots back up. No worries, Drop Air Bricks. Hello to Landon's Room. Alexandria's keeping tabs on everyone. Thanks for being here, everyone. Thanks to Alexandria for moderating the live stream. And it's been kind of nice. I know it's late for the US base of our community, but it's been really nice to live stream with you guys on a consistent basis. And I don't advertise, you know, the live stream like 24 hours in advance, but to be able to live stream consistently during these times has been really good, and being able to connect with a lot of you guys also. And then of course I do always forget, like, oh, there are some people I used to catch on the earlier live streams that this time doesn't work out. So I'll have to, on the weekends, at least on Saturdays, try and catch more people at an earlier hour. And, you know, that's the dilemma that Dropper Bricks was also referring to. When can I live stream where it's a decent time for everyone? And, you know, what the decent time ends up being is what works for you, because you will, undoubtedly, you will connect with Lego fans no matter what time it is, because there's people around the world, there's lots of Lego fans, and it's just fun to meet all you guys and, yeah, talk Lego with an international community. But yeah, there are some people in the US time zone. Hope to catch them again at earlier times. We miss the ones that we don't get to see that often now. There used to be Cole would be here quite often, or Matt is Alive. That guy was hilarious. So we'll see if we can catch some more folks at earlier times. Mac builds bricks, got to catch up with his channel too. And yeah, just catch up with the Lego community. So going back to Lego news, let me see if I got to catch up here with the conversation. Alexandria says, you are welcome. Thanks, Alexandria, of course. Liam says, hey, Liam is here as well. Speaking of the community, welcome back, Liam. Hello, beautiful people. Liam says, hello to Alexandria. Hope the weather isn't getting to you. Oh, yes, Alexandria is stuck on the East Coast. But spring is coming. I don't know how promising that feels on the tail end of February, right? But, you know, once we get into March, and then officially, when is spring? March 21st, roughly, March 20th or so, then the optimism can kick back in for you guys on the East Coast. I will not share what temperature we have out here, although I'm sure Drop Bear Bricks can relate. It's got some nice temperatures here. Although you guys down in Australia, I guess it's your summer season, so it's gonna be nice, or maybe too hot, depending on where you guys are in Australia, or the Southern Hemisphere, basically. You guys have summer during our winter, which is so crazy to think about. But yeah, Alexandria being on the East Coast, that the winter weather can be pretty severe, pretty harsh. But a little brick therapy, talking Lego, being on the Lego community always helps. All right, I love how it uses, I love how this set uses those linked, these linked or hinge pieces. I'm sure there's a more technical name for them. But then, yeah, then you start to get that curved effect. And then as you build up the tower, yeah, it starts to look really cool. And so it starts to look really cool. And then look at all the detail. As you go around, you even get the guard post here, the defensive ports, like wooden ports right there. So, you know, like they can peek their head through here and drop a bucket of hot coal or fire or tar on the advancing Urukai, at least slow them down for a little bit. A little bit of well-placed design medieval warfare on a Lego build. It's kind of fun. Let's see. Liam says, yay, I mean tea. Best tea ever, says Alexandria. The weather here is nuts. That's one way to put it, right? That says it all right there. Oh yeah, Tanner, he's like, I don't know if anybody can top this. Then in Canada, minus 45 last week. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever even experienced that kind of cold, to be honest. That is intense. So go figure. John Powell says it's supposed to be 65 in Virginia on Saturday. Oh, there we go. But it snowed the other day. Okay, so again, extremes. As Alexander said, the weather can be nuts. Liam says, 2 days of summer left. I'm as far south as an Australian can get. We had a below average summer. Oh, you serious? So it didn't even get that warm, it sounds like. And when I picture the climate in Australia, I just picture the whole continent / nation being warm. Yeah, so Alexander is lamenting with you guys. South means cold, different in the Southern Hemisphere. Yeah, so you guys, as we get warmer over here, it's gonna for sure get colder there. Drop Air Brick says, yep, summer for us ends at the end of February, so next month. It's autumn, and I honestly can't wait for it to start to get cold because we can light the fire. Oh, it's so funny. 40-degree days here in summer are insane. Oh my gosh, 40 degrees. So that's Celsius, right? Drop Bear Brick. So if that's 40 Celsius, that's like, oh my gosh, that's like 110 Fahrenheit or even more. Yikes. It's so weird. I couldn't imagine being down in the Southern Hemisphere or being in Australia and thinking the months, June through August or September are winter months. That just, this is, you know, as the emoji goes, it just blows your mind. I can't picture that those months are cold, especially, you know, that's when schools are on vacation here and all that stuff. It's like, how can that be cold weather? So so interesting. And do you guys have certain areas in Australia? It's a big place. But you know, I guess I don't know these things. What is the climate like? Is it ever get cold enough for snow in the interior? Or is it pretty just dry and arid? So curious. Yeah, Celsius. So Drop Bear Bricks says, yeah, so 40 Celsius. That is intense. Um, wow, Drop Bear Bricks, you're in Western Australia, says Liam. Hey, Romy Bricks, psh, we were just talking about your time zone and how if Drop Bear Bricks live streams, they could catch you pretty easily. 15th like incoming from Romy Bricks. Psh, namaste, my friend. Thank you. Good to see you, Drop Bear, says Liam. Drop Bear Bricks is in rural Queensland. Good day, Romy Bricks, says Liam. So goodness, that's how big that continent slash country is. Australia, the north to the west extreme ends. But yeah, just curious. Does it get cold enough in Australia for like snow at any part or any elevation or any part of the interior? So curious about that. I should look it up. I'm sure it's easy to find out. Yes, Romy Bricks, namaste. Liam says, we get snow here in Tassie. Oh, you do? Okay. We can also get 30 degrees Celsius, so it can get super hot as well. And then roaming says, it's getting hot in here. Roaming, roaming where you are, what is the coldest weather? I know you guys have, like, you could go further north, I'm assuming, to the northeast of India, and it's probably, you can get some extreme cold up there, right? Because now you're basically on the base of mountains. Tanner says, you think it got cold. I live in the most northern city in the world. So that's cold, Tanner. You are like north, super north. But I assume like there are some months where it's pretty beautiful too. And then you guys have more space where less of a crowded what do you call it? Less of a densely populated area. So you got, probably looks really nice, all that open space, although maybe it's really quiet and maybe kind of feels isolated at times too. I don't know. I just think it's just crazy to think that the months of June through August would be in the southern hemisphere mindset winter. That just, so I don't know, that would be weird to live, you know, in the US and then move to Australia or something and then totally shift to our paradigm of everything, climate and everything. It's crazy. Edmonton, okay, Edmonton, Canada. Liam says, I lived in Cairns for 15 years and love Queensland. Oh, I have to look up pictures of all these places. It'd be really fun to see what it looks like. Drop Bear Bricks says, the opposite. I find it wild that you guys have Christmas in the middle of the school year. Our school year is in January through mid-December, then 6 weeks holiday for Christmas, New Year's. Yeah, so that is, again, just a total string. Well, I find it crazy that you'd have Christmas, which is associated, like you get all the Lego sets, it's associated with winter, right? And cold and snow. And that's summer for you guys. It's so strange. Australia is unique, says Roaming, in its own way. That's for sure. That's for sure. Tanner says, yeah, so 20 to 25, pretty average for cold day up here. But then you guys have the stamina of like extreme temps where, you know, what would be warm to you would be freezing cold to where I am here on the west coast of the US. That is for sure. But then it's just weird how your body acclimates, like extreme temps, whether it's hot or cold. It's like, then when that temperature changes or whatever a little bit, you either feel warm or cooler with just a subtle change. But then you come to a place like ours where it's like always temperate. It's always pretty consistent. Like, you know, we get on average, we get some cold days, but like on average, even during now, even the winter months, quote unquote, it's like, you know, the sun comes out and it's gonna go up to about 70 degrees, even warmer than that. Fahrenheit, or 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And what would that be like in the 20s in Celsius? I gotta think metric. But yeah, so we got a pretty, people are spoiled here because there is no, kids don't get snow days. There are no extreme temperatures. We're also close to the mountains, so if you wanted, winter and snow, you don't have to go far. We're very close to the base of the mountains here and the desert. So we can kind of have a variety, like within just a short couple hours, or not even that, an hour's drive. But really just to experience winter where we are is super rare. It did get cold enough one year to where we had snow in our local area, and it was like people, pulling out cameras and taking pictures of it, because it's like, this never happens. Or if it does happen, it's like once every, decade or something like that. So here we are talking weather. We're talking weather on a Lego channel. What is going on here? What is going on here? It's because we're connecting the community. The community connects through international experiences and sharing what the life is like around the world, which is super cool too. So yes, plus a little bit of Lego news in between. John Powell, autocorrect stinks. Tanner says, that's how I am. John Powell says, oh, that's right. Families on vacation this summer, so schools are closed. Yeah, that's how it is here in the U.S. for sure. Romy Brick says, kids will have 1 month summer vacation here now in April. Ah, okay. Tanner says, yeah, lots of laughs. Santa's workshop is up the road and take a left. Yeah, Tanner, that's how close you are to the North Pole. Exactly, that's how north he is. Alexandria says, ask the elves for Lego. I know, Tanner, why don't you just, stop by, say hello. Ask if they have any surplus Lego, especially Speed Champions, because we know that's your jam. And, tell us what you think, man. What's it like? You're that close to the supply line. There is no back order for you, so to speak. It's pretty funny. I did, says Tanner. He gave it a shot. They probably tried to put you to work, dude. They probably said, it's a little sweat equity to get the Lego. You can't just come here and ask. The Weatherman, says Roman Bricks. Liam says, Aussies and Canadians seem to get each other's culture well. Commonwealth buddies. Yes, the Commonwealth folks. That's what we all have in common as well. We got a little bit of the British Empire heritage in each one of our countries, and some better experiences than others. So probably the most recent, roaming bricks, dealing with the British all the way up to past World War II, and then the rest of us a lot earlier than that. Or I guess you still have a little bit of connection, you Commonwealth folks. Roaming Brick says, I hate fake bricks. Drop Bear Brick says, it snows about 3 to 4 hours from where we live. Okay, yeah, I was curious. Is there snow in Australia? But waiting till our 3-year-old is older before we can all go for a trip to the snow. I haven't seen it since I was a baby. Oh, it's gonna be amazing. It's just the crisp air when you come to a snow climate. Oh, it's very nice. It's very, well, depends, right? If you live in it every day, it probably gets old fast. And that sensation of how cold, everything looks so smooth, and like just the snow covers up all the ruggedness of the terrain, all the grime and everything. It looks so clean. And then when it all melts away, you see what was left behind. So it's crazy. When we're living overseas in Spain, 2021, they had this 50-year blizzard, and I never experienced weather that extreme before. Like, you looked outside and you can tell it's like you were in the middle of winter tundra, like blizzard wasteland. You just look outside, you can see just snow drifts starting to develop, and walk outside the next day and it's like 3 feet of snow. You step outside and your whole leg just sinks into the snow. But then everywhere you go, wherever there was a hill, because where we lived, there was a few small hills around the neighborhood, was prime for us going sledding. So my kids loved it. That was amazing. And that's rare for us too, to have snow wherever we've lived. It's been rare. So to have that was pretty amazing. Tanner says, for us, it snows, or us in Canada, it snows 9 months of the year. Oh my gosh, and hails the other 2. That's crazy. Roaming, John Powell says, roaming, there's no such thing as fake bricks. Yes, exactly. Check AliExpress. It's flooding with fake sets, says roaming. Roaming's on a tear, man. Well, roaming, I am building one right now. I'm building the Helm's Deep set that way. So I get you, man. But I want to experience this build. If I'm going to invest anything in these ones, I'm going to take advantage of at least this once or twice to see. And yeah, I mean, it pretty much convinces you. It's like, oh, these retired sets, like especially Lord of the Rings, it's like, oh wow, we're talking some serious cash. So, oops, trying to even out these green and gray bricks. So, yes, exactly. You could say it's alt brick, but fake brick. Fake they're not. They are connecting and working like bricks. They're just not Lego bricks. Because Lumi Bricks is also bricks. Lumi Bricks. I love that drive-in set. John Powell, I was looking at the Lumi Brick sets again. That drive-in set looks so cool. We were talking about that on the live stream a couple days ago. I don't know if you had caught that part of the conversation, but yeah, that drive-in set looks cool. Now, the thing that kind of stalled me on the whole idea of getting that Lumi Brick set was the price to piece ratio wasn't that impressive, and the set was even on sale. So I think it was like a 1,700 piece set or something like that, the drive-in set, and it was $90 if I round up. And see, that price seemed okay, but I think it was still worked out to be about 20 cents per piece. And you know, I know price to piece ratio isn't always like a fair indicator of a good deal or not, but I was thinking once it was on sale, you would notice that in every aspect. And you know, if I compared that price to a Lego set equivalent that also had about 1,700, 1,800 pieces, would it be in that, would it also be about $90 or so? I mean, it kind of would be, I guess, the equivalent of one of these Harry Potter, like the astronomy tower here. So anyway, it didn't seem like the best deal, so I kind of held off. But I do like that drive-in set. John Powell says, roaming, you mean copies? Yes. Roaming says, one of the contacts I know here locally got inspired by my version of Arkham Asylum, and now I see he ordered a fake one just so that he can fulfill his destiny. Well, I mean, if you can get the idea of the build, and that's what you can afford, and it's there, I could see what he was thinking. Romy says, yes, fake copies, same like Lego sets, our knockoff version. I so much get annoyed. Liam says, weather changes very quickly here in Tasmania, and ooh, very dangerous. Could kill hikers and fishermen every year to do the roaring 40s wind system between us and Antarctica. Oh my gosh, talk about extreme climate. I would feel like I'm literally on the end of the world when you go that far south. That's crazy. Gosh, the winds between the two continents. Yeah, I would imagine flying down to Australia from anywhere, the turbulence would be pretty scary, actually, the way you describe that. Liam says, we have a saying here, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. That sounds familiar in a lot of places, Liam. Actually, that's funny. I've heard that expression too. Tanner says, so we get more snow this winter than we have in the last 5 years. It got so bad, school got canceled because of snow in Canada, which, you know, that's pretty extreme, knowing that you guys are used to that kind of stuff. Roman Brick says, knockoff version of it is available for the Death Star, $150. I saw that, Roman Bricks. I saw that. It's like, you can tell, let's see, do I need to do that? Oh, no. You can tell, Roman Bricks. It's almost like Legos being baited, right? Like, oh, you're gonna price your sets, you know, in the $1,000 range, and then AliExpress is like, what can we do? What can we do to pull away even more people from the original Lego set, and you're talking again like a 90% discount if you look at the numbers. 80 to 90% discount. You can do the exact math, but that's the thing. What does that do to Lego? And then I don't know. How do they get? I guess it's super easy. They can just go buy a Lego set and then figure it all out and then copy it. But how do they get? Well, and we know how they're able to do it. I guess where these stores, these Alt-Brick stores, are based. But yeah, it is crazy. $1,000 Lego set, and then you see a $150 Death Star set. See, that's where it'd be that's where it'd be interesting to buy. I've seen bigger Lego YouTubers, they'll buy the AliExpress version of whatever set and then do a drop test, So basically to them it's just a throwaway item. But yeah, they've think a few of them have done it where they bought the UCS Millennium Falcon and then did a full-on drop test on it. It was crazy. John Powell says, remember, piece count is just a fake way Lego uses to trick you into believing you are getting a deal when they are tiny pieces. True. Yeah, that's why I said it with that description of like, I know that's not everything, but it does make you think twice. It made me think twice. John Powell says, here's an example. The Tudor corner is 58% 1x1 and 1x2 pieces. Don't be fooled by Lego piece count. Well, and the other thing is, and this is what I said also, the piece count is kind of, that's, it did work on me. I was like a little bit stuck on that idea. But, you guys know this already, but I think there are no stickers, and you do get like a light set, right, to go with the set. So that was cool. And that drive-in set looks so, it just looked like a great design. Like they have the big drive-in movie, the movie screen, and then they have a huge design on it of like a minifigure type face. So I think it would look awesome in a Lego city. It's not Lego. But yeah, there's more aspects to it than just the piece count, which is crazy. Tanner says Canada is the only country other than Russia that can snow every month of the year. Yes, you guys can be proud of that, and you are welcome to keeping that. If you want to claim the fame, there you go, Tanner. You guys can keep that one. Romy Brick says, yeah, consumers are not dumb to believe everything companies say or print on a box. A company that is globally established has a lot to spend on operational overheads as well. Yes, Romy Bricks. Good points all around. Liam says, absolutely, John, Lego is getting sneaky. Roman Briggs says, there are many Lego sets on which there's no piece count whatsoever mentioned. To be honest, I guess Lego does give that statistic. Or maybe they don't. I'm trying to think. When you look up a Lego set, does it give you the piece count? I only noticed that phenomena watching other people review Lego sets where they do give you the price per piece ratio. But then again, it's just something to consider. And I don't mind it as a consumer. I'm not basing my decision just on piece count. But in terms of like other factors, yeah, I think it's worth noting. It's like, especially compared to themes, like a Star Wars set piece count is definitely way more expensive than a Ninjago, both Lego sets. But the piece count is definitely not equal within its own branding. So just another thing to consider when you're buying a set. Now, of course, you're not getting the same theme, and not everybody is thinking through, oh, well, it's the licensing too. You're not getting a Lego brand on its own. You're getting Lego Star Wars, which in itself is a brand that people want. So yeah, I get all that, but it's just something worth considering. And I was wanting to compare, like, okay, if I get this Lumi brick set and it's got 1,700 pieces or so, how will that equal to a Lego set? Hey, Buzz Gaming. Buzz Gaming says, what are you building? Buzz, we're working on the Helm's Deep set. So if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, working on some cool castle tower build, and I love this curved, Felt like a loose piece here somewhere. Oh, that's weird. I love this curved, oh, that's why. This curved tower, and the interior even looks cool. Just the old full-on structure. I almost think that this would look on, should be the look on the outside, but that's the interior. This is the exterior. So go figure. That's what we're working on here, Buzz Gaming. Romy Brick says the amount of money I have spent for my favorite Lego sets added in my collection has costed me almost a fortune. If I would have bought the knockoff version, I would have gotten it 8 times over. I love to collect for fun, but respectively of the factors of copyright and trademark, to be fair. Did the knockoff Helm's Deep set come in a box? No, it didn't, Romy Bricks. All just like one big, you know, bubble wrap type thing in several layers of plastic. So yeah, but again, wanted to share this with you guys because it is a set I will review to do like a video. Like, is a knockoff version worth considering? And I put it this way. Let's say you were like, I want to get the Lego set, the original Lego set, but I want to see what the build is like first, because you are going to be paying. I don't know if there's any way you're getting a collector's item, original Lego Lord of the Rings set that's over 10 years old. Anything below about, you know, quadruple the price it was originally, or more than that. And so, yeah, especially Lord of the Rings. Some sets will be the same. Harry Potter sets discounted. So anyways, to test the waters, so to speak, see what the knockoff version, it's almost like, let me try the prototype first before I decide on the original. So yeah, are the minifigures included? Yes, the minifigures are here. All of it is, you can tell too, the quality is definitely not, the molding on the minifigures, they look good, but then when the stuff like the hands and the legs and the torsos and the legs, they don't stick together as well. They come apart pretty easily. But as far as display and build, which is really all I'm going for with this or most Lego sets anyway, want to see what that's like. But yeah, they do look pretty good, and I do like the build, and I'm gonna experience it and take advantage of it for this one. Yes, as John Powell says, no one is defending design stealing. Wrong topic. We're talking piece count versus value, comparing Lego versus Lumi Bricks. Oh, that's for sure. Well, Lumi Bricks does their own designs as well. Plus, as you guys have pointed out, John Powell has pointed out, the brick design is not owned by Lego, right? So other companies can use the same brick design, which is compatible across the board. Hey, Chris Vick, welcome. We can take the instruction manual and create a wish list of all required parts and bricks, which can be used in building whatever set you want. Just do a few adjustments, as Brixie did show. For sure. Well, you know what? I got this, and I like building this version of it. I want to see what it's like, and that's all there is to it. It's still, to me, worth experience the build to see what it's like and enjoy the build. So that's and that definitely saves me a lot of money. So as a Lego collector, or a brick collector, I guess you could say, I wanted to try this out and give it a shot. So there you go. Rummy Brick says, oh yeah, talking about the brand itself. True. So what's the coldest temp you have ever had, says Tanner. Oh, well, it depends on whoever you are in the world, but yes, I don't think, well, Tanner, we're like next to 3 different types of geographies. Like, we're near the mountains, we're near the desert. So it could get down to like close to freezing here. So let's see, 35 Fahrenheit. So I don't know, what would that be? Would that be close to like 3 Celsius or so, 5 Celsius? I have to do the conversion. I only know Brick Therapy Lego, says Chris Vick. Let's go, Chris Vick. I like that, Alexandria. I like that. All right, guys, I'm gonna sign off. I didn't realize the hour had gone by so fast. So welcome and thank you for being here. Thanks for being here, everyone. Roaming, Alexandria, John Powell, Chris Vick. I know, Chris Vick, you just got here. See, I was telling Drop Bear Bricks, they might have signed off already. It's like, you can go on anytime. You're gonna catch some cool people in the community. So thanks for being here. Even you, Chris Vick, we got you, Tanner. That's right, we got to see you as well. Have a good one, you guys. Happy Wednesday.